Good evening. Okay, so let me start by introducing myself. My name is Afax from Edavanna, third year computer engineering. On signal system, try to added in the user multiple time in Linux based system, but sometimes Linux based systems ago took and a look at the some things. Is something really different? I don't know that the time, but I can really tell today. So it is called Fuchsia. Is will try to the an overview of but it's lot of things in things new operating system. It is very a new operating system. I am not a future developer. I just took a look at the source code and the documentation is almost communication from the company behind it, which a Google but live the looking at the in this moment. Sometime now, so have a project started in 2015 about it. It was opened the screw but 1 year later. So that made developed by Google, but this some part which care not open for example. Roadmaps and roadmaps known as a big tractor in the not open either. Fuchsia an operating system a new one mainly tagging and in the device and the user device you may the static smartphone and laptop or top will IoT device may be either and device recent staff and the remaining goal of the system security, reliability and modability and sustainability of a flying with the insert the adding a new layer. Fuchsia is these are contents solved. What is a fuchsia? What why fuchsia? Name origin Linux kernel Zircon kernel languages so many there. Introduction Fuchsia is capability based and real time operating system developed by Google LCC. First discovered malicious code of GHub in August 20, 2016. Fuchsia based on a new microkernel is called Zircon. This figure is our Fuchsia include the pictures. Android Fuchsia is icon and Google Chrome. Android plus Google Chrome OS equal to Fuchsia OS. There. Android's there is Android's operating system, mobile and developed by Google. Linux kernel and source software and design touchscreen mobile device and smartphone and tablet. Google further developed Android TV, television and auto or car and Android Wear for visit or which watches are so specially user interface. Variant and of Android also used game console, digital camera or electronics, etc. Chrome's Chrome's OS. Chrome OS is an operating system designed by Google that is based on the Linux kernel. Google Chrome web browser principal interface phrase operating system in both application and user data reside the cloud the Chrome cloud പറഞ്ഞ cloud the save the Chrome OS data. Chrome OS only available install on hardware and Google manufacturing partner Chrome OS operating system designed Google based on a Linux kernel. Use the Google Chrome web browser is a principal user interface. It is a operating system application and user data reside the cloud. Chrome OS is the only available install on the hardware from Google manufacturing partner. Another reason for starting Fuchsia. Android and Chrome's OS basically built on the open source operating system is called Linux. Google paying the hug amount of money Linux every year. They are using it there. Fuchsia opts different kernel and create a lightweight OS. It is a belief that Google using Zircon or Magenta, a medium-sized microkernel, is based on project called Little Kernel. The idea build the equally and capable OS operating system compared to the current ones. Magenta and designed for scale and work on variety devices such as smartphone and PCC. Fuchsia built the Zircon, a new kernel created Google. Admalino built in Google Filter SDK, which used to create a cross-platform code capable running on multiple operating systems. Why did they choose this name? Pink plus purple is equal to Fuchsia, a new operating system. Fuchsia used a different operating system, create a new operating system. Simplify like both color, pink and purple, forming the new color Fuchsia. Are mixing the operating system, Chrome OS and Androids form the operating system Fuchsia. They choose the name of as a Fuchsia. Description about Fuchsia OS. Zircon kernel. Zircon kernel is the core platform, the power was of Fuchsia operating system formerly Zircon called Magnetic kernel, and otherwise Magnetic kernel. Zircon microkernel derived little kernel. Zircon composed microkernel will small set to user space services derives and libraries necessary for the system about talk the hardware and user space processing run them or etc. Fuchsia built the larger operating system top on this foundation. Zircon kernel provides a system called managed process threads or virtual memory interfaces communication waiting on the object state change and look. 8 currently there are some temporary spacicles that have been used yearly bring up work will be going away the future along the term scales API or ABI surface in is financial the expansion that will be about 100 scales. Little kernel LK Little kernel is a tiny operating system, small embedded device, booklet, other environment operating system primitives and thread and mutex and time are needed. But there are still keep things small and lightweight on embedded ARM and platforms. The core of LK and typically 15 to 20 KB. Little kernel, the Android bootloader and also used Android trusted execution environment TST operating system. Android phones chance and little kernel running the alongside Linux. Few AMP source and manufacture and a little kernel as their default bootloader, such as a Dragon and board 40 400 400 based on the condo span and for of processor. Fuchsia operating system microkernel Zircon and based on the little kernel. Microkernel computer science microkernel the near minimum amount of software can be provided the mechanism needed to implement and operating system. Machines are included the low level address space management and thread management, inter-process communication. Hardware provided multiple rings or CPU models. Microkernel may be only software executing most prevalently with the which is generally referred to supervisor or kernel mode. Traditional operating system functions such as a device derives for protocol stacks and field system are typically remove the microkernel itself and instead run and user space. Teams of the source code size and general rule microkernel turned the smaller than monolithic kernel. The Minix and 3 microkernel, for example, approximately two 2x 20 200 20 lines or codes. Languages are framework used. Languages Dart, Rust, Golang. Framework filter framework. Filter framework used Dart. Fuchsia user interfaces. Atromalio graphical user interface. Fuchsia currently offered to layout. Mobile synthetic design code named Atromolo. Traditional desktop experience code named Capybara. Andrimalo drops the app drove the shortcut model and combine the recent app and quick settings Google feed. Capybara will very much work in the progress taskbar containing the time place holder, kick sitting and something instant and start button. Advanlo and year presentation. Fuchsia is a assistant first. Design accommodate the Google Assistant. Google Assistant inspire the information. Use the hold home button and Fuchsia provide deeper access. And user browse looking and views and restaurant and calendar and check the data. Say the OK Google. Invite Smith, Samantha to lunch and world of content. Assistant will have access to all entities. And notably, the developers have specifically and called out access to entities and screen the passes. Entities enable and the assistant to the inspect and manipulate the entities and correctly and the past. Fuchsia is a cross devices. Today, technological world, most people have just a device, multiple or phone, tablet, laptop, etc. Based on a current state of operating system, Google working at Fuchsia on all seemingly insane. Fuchsia everything stored cloud. No difference between Fuchsia and laptop, desktop, and mobiles. Some there may be needed carry both. Architectural benefit over Android or Chrome OS. Android and Chrome OS both based on Linux. Traveable and have available and few months. Some OEMs are reluctant and include their device. This Android user potentially vulnerable to new exploits that have already been patched upstream. Fuchsia avoid these pet fees and using the customer kernel Zircon, which design and consistently upgradable. Extra layer security prevent up the being and incompatible after system upgrading a problem that plugged Android before. Fuchsia for developers. Google testing out develop background the project. Written and dirt. Languages designed feel the familiar JavaScript and developed through the filter framework. Support the Go, another Google design language also included. System developed in comfortable and availability Rust. Google is targeting Apple developer based in using Swift support. Icing and cake through the native interoperability support for the most this language field protocol .ui code can directly interface backend or combination. This gives a developer opportunity expresses and use the best language the job and will have a bit more into the lecture. Which device is will run it? Mobiles, tablet, laptops, personal computer, embedded system. Advantages of a Fuchsia OS. Secured capability based security. Lightweight processing. Another work on the gadget. Next, smooth just compared with other. Faster processing using less RAM. Free and open source. Conclusions. Fuchsia is really going to change wood operating system by giving simple and different operating system world of can be used system, tablet and mobile embedded system, etc. Fuchsia proof advancement the modern world and touch gain and Google going create a revaluation of the world technology. Reference these are included. Especially I think security of a Go. So if you wanted to experiment with this operating system will be you you are application developer you can already development applications developed application otherwise will you can take took at the with which contain lot of developers developers or guidelines which use but I am poverty sure for development too. So thank you for your attention. Thank you. Thank you.